Welcome to the Sunday League Show. I'm your humble host and expat, Nico Potocznik, joined by my assistants,
co-host,
and dad, Billy Potocznik. This is a show where we talk all things football. So let's kick it off. All right, let's get into it. The Women's World Cup starting on July 20th with New Zealand and Norway.
Where is this Women's World Cup?
It is in Australia and New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's July 20th?
Yes, it is July 20th between New Zealand, a host of the World Cup. And
are we going to be tuning in for that?
We definitely are.
Okay, we're going to have that on our Canal Plus.
Yeah, definitely a special time of year for the women's football.
Absolutely.
The women's football lovers.
It is going to be so awesome to see this. So I'm excited about that. Who's the favorite?
I say, for me, the favorite is the USA.
Is it the USA? Is that the favorite?
The favorite is
We're not
the
being
USA.
biased or anything?
No, we're not being biased.
All right, so the USA is the favorite. And then who are some of the other good teams? Norway, Australia?
Norway, Australia, Germany, France.
England?
England are good too. They won the Women's
France,
Euros last summer.
They did? They beat France?
No, they played Germany in the final.
They beat Germany. There you go. You see, I got to tune in a little bit more. All right, what else we got? We got the U21.
We got the U21
final. England versus Spain. When is that game?
England.
Is that this weekend?
Swapping.
By the time you get this, maybe that game's over. Who knows? But that's going to be a great matchup. England versus Spain. All right. Who are you going to be rooting for?
I will be for England because, of course, I'm rooting for my boy Emil Smith-Rowe.
Ah, yes. Okay.
The guy who produced an assist and two other goals earlier in this tournament so far.
Cool. All right. I might be rooting for England this time, but traditionally I don't really root for England, even though I love some of the players. I usually root for Spain. So we'll see how that goes.
To get here, Spain thwart Ukraine 5-1, and England dealt with Israel 3-0. Great run by Israel.
Yeah. Great run by Israel and Ukraine. All right. So I know this is one of the things you love talking about.
What is it?
The transfer window.
It is.
And what are we going to do?
We're going to do a game called
Bang
or
Dang.
Reviewing the transfers.
All right. So let's go. Transfer window. I know you guys are all you footballers out there keeping track of this transfer window. I mean, the information's everywhere, right? We get it from the same places you get it from. David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano, and all the others out there. But it's fun to talk about, right? Because we got our teams, we got teams we follow, we got teams we love, we got teams we like, we got teams we don't like. We want to see what's going on, want to see what's happening. And the amount of money out there, sometimes it is a little ridiculous. Oftentimes, all the time perhaps, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
But I guess it is what it is, and we do love the game. So let's talk about it. All right,
first one, Iniesta reuniting with Messi at Inter Miami.
All right, so for me, I don't find this very exciting. I don't really find it. I'm just like, if we say bang or dang's the game, I would say blah. That's blah to me. It's not that exciting. What are you going to do? Start grabbing all the ex-Barcelona players and that are at the end of their career? These are legends, no doubt about it. Iniesta, I got the privilege of watching him play during the glory years at Barcelona, and he is a true artist and a majestic player. But, okay, so he's going to Inter Miami. What else are you going to do to sell tickets Inter Miami? It's great, but come on.
For me, this is an absolute dang.
It's a
Iniesta
dang. Wow.
is far past where he was back when I got to watch him, when I had the privilege of watching him in his prime. I think Iniesta is just far past that moment where he's the maestro in the midfield. He doesn't even start that much for Vissel Kobe in the Japanese league.
Okay, all right. What's next? Bring it on.
Next is Arda Güler to Real Madrid, the Turkish star. And for me, this is another dang. Real Madrid do not need this player. He's not going to start. He's maybe not even on the bench. He's another midfielder to add to the 9 they already have. But again, for Real Madrid, just racking up the youth with their insane amount of money.
With their insane amount of money. But they rack up the youth, but are they playing the youth? Did the youth get a chance there? Do you feel like? Are they developing? Not necessarily known for developing the youth.
No, I mean, you can argue with Vinicius Jr.
Yes.
He had a slow first season, but now he's Ballon d'Or quality.
Oh, man, okay. Unbelievable.
Insane.
Yeah, I was kind of, being a homer that I am for Arsenal, I was kind of hoping we'd get the young Turkish stud. So, but we didn't. Anyway, all right, so that's maybe that's a dang for me too. Dang. Okay, but maybe it's a dang for personal reasons. All right, next, let's go. Keep going.
All right. Brenden Aaronson to Union Berlin. Another dang for me.
Ooh, a dang for you on that? I give it a bang. Union Berlin, they're like everybody's sweetheart now. Their story's so amazing. He's going to Union Berlin, living in Berlin, living the life with that amazing fan base for that historic club. You don't like Aaronson?
Listen, it's not that I have a personal problem against Aaronson. He's a selfish player.
He is.
He thinks about himself before the team.
But isn't he a striker?
He's a cam. Center attacking midfielder.
Okay.
He's too selfish to be a center attacking midfielder. We saw it at the World Cup. We saw it at Leeds. Didn't make a big impact for Leeds.
Can't necessarily argue with that. But I do like him. I do like to see him succeed. Again, some of my bias is coming in because we want to see these players succeed in Europe at the highest level. Not that Union Berlin's the highest level club, but look, Champions League, big competition. I'd like to see it work out for him, but I love your points about him. All right, what's next?
Pulisic to AC Milan.
Woo!
The man who snubbed Lyon a couple days ago.
Man, that's painful. That's painful. I mean, that gotta go bang though. Bang.
Yeah,
right?
It is a bang for me.
Can you say it? Let me hear you say it.
Bang!
All right, that's good. All right, bang. Okay. So Pulisic to AC Milan, that's a bang. They got to agree on the price. They haven't agreed on the price yet. I think that Lyon offer was a better offer, right? But maybe he wants to go to Serie A. I think it'd be great to see him in France and to see him playing for Lyon. And but who can argue with going to Milan?
Yeah, I have to say I don't love how AC Milan are doing things this transfer window, getting a lot of players into the club, but can't argue with that move.
Can't argue with that move. And I do think Pulisic, you cannot judge a player's experience at Chelsea. Let's just be honest, guys. Chelsea fans, you'll be upset. You just can't, though. They bring in all these players. They overspend for all of them. They bring them in. They don't shine right away, and then they're on the scrap heap, and then they're loaning them off, or they're sitting on the bench, or whatever else. And we see how they go other places, and they do well. Lukaku, does that remind you of anything? Shines other places. So I don't think a player underperforming at Chelsea is a gauge of what that player's ability is, which leads me to Havertz.
To Arsenal. That is an absolute bang.
Bang? Okay, so I think a lot of people would say, right about now, I think a lot of people would say that's a dang. Because, on the media seems to be framing this as like Havertz was a flop at Chelsea, and what is Arteta doing? He doesn't have a clue what he's doing with Kai Havertz, and why would he spend this money on Kai Havertz? But Kai Havertz was a star. He was a star at Bayer Leverkusen before he went to Chelsea, and he did some amazing things at Chelsea too, scored some big goals. It's not like, again, it's that Chelsea factor. I don't think we can gauge a player on how they did at Chelsea necessarily, because they have hoarded so many people and overspent for so many players. So I don't think it's a good gauge. So you think it's a bang. Why?
It's an absolute
Why is it a bang? Okay.
People could say Havertz was a flop at Chelsea because he didn't do what they expected him to do when they bought him for a hefty price. But he's racking up 4 goals, 8 goals, 7 goals a season and leading them in all their attacking stats. Also winning the Champions League for them with the beautiful chip against Man City.
Yeah.
So you could actually say he's carrying Chelsea through their darkest hour.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. What else?
All right. Declan Rice to the Gunners. That is a bang.
That's a bang.
Hefty price tag.
Hefty price tag. It's a little scary when you see these price tags. This is the game today. It's disturbing to some degree. I won't lie. I probably sound old-fashioned when I say that, but these prices are disturbing, and some of the things that's going on with the game on the big money scale is just kind of reprehensible in the sport washing that we see. But hey, it's a bang. Declan Rice is going to be an amazing player for Arsenal, and I think he's the guy that's going to be lifting a lot of trophies with the red and white. So, all right.
Don't have much more to say than that.
No.
All right, Mason Mount to Manchester United For me, dang.
Dang. Okay.
Hefty dang.
Hefty dang.
They
Why?
had 150 million to spend on a striker. That is a big amount of money. They could have went and bought themselves Osimhen, Vlahovic.
Oof.
But they went and spent 60 million plus add-ons on Mason Mount in
Great
a
player.
position
Great
they
player.
don't need.
Right, in a position, but he is a good player.
Yeah, he is.
Mason Mount's a good player. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't think I've talked to Man United fans. They don't get it either. They feel like they just really have a clue of what they're doing as far as business, and seems like maybe, just why are you getting a player that you don't necessarily need when you need a striker? So what else?
All right, we got 4 more, and this one is the best transfer of the window so far, in my opinion.
The best transfer of the window?
Szoboslai
yeah.
to Liverpool.
Yeah, that's a great transfer.
The big Hungarian man.
The Magyar Marauder. I don't even know if they say that. Do they say Magyar? They should say it. Well, I think it's a great trade. Not a great trade. Boy, there's an American coming out. I think it's a great transfer as well. I think Szoboszlai is a class act, a great player. He's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got the intelligence, the creativity, the athleticism.
He's been consistent every year, putting up equal numbers in his 2 seasons at Leipzig. 6 goals, 8 assists.
That's a bang then.
That's a bang.
All right. What else?
All right. Sandro Tonali to Newcastle.
Sandro Tonali to Newcastle.
Last year for AC Milan, 2 goals, 7 assists in that CDM position.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know about this. So I don't know. I guess it's a bang. I mean, I don't know.
For me, it's a bang. I mean, class player, class act. What I heard, though, is he was mad that he was leaving Milan.
Ooh.
When he heard the news, he was mad to leave
Well, when you're leaving a city like Milan and you're moving up to Newcastle, no offense, Newcastle, very charming place, I know, but I mean, Milan might be hard to leave for some people. You know what I mean? And maybe he's just not sure about those long winters up north in England. So who knows about that? But it's definitely an historic club. What else we got with Jurrien Timber for Arsenal? Bang.
Jurrien Timber.
Jurrien Timber. Bang. Okay, good. Anything else on that list of yours there, young man?
Yeah, there actually is.
Okay, what is it?
It is the other Thuram brother, Marcus Thuram, to Inter Milan.
That's a bang all day long. Marcus Thuram is no joke. The dude is a stud. He's a monster. He plays his ass off when he's in the game. I thought when he was in the World Cup, anytime he came in for France, he was a difference maker. And I didn't even think, I didn't really even expect what I saw. I thought when he was out there, he was just so impressive. I think Inter's lucky to have him. What?
It's a dang.
Why?
They have Lautaro Martinez, Correa on the bench, and Lukaku. They already have 3 players in his exact position. They didn't need him.
They didn't need to, really?
Didn't need him.
Okay.
They already have a player kind of similar to him and Lukaku.
Okay, well, we're going to find out then. We're going to see how that goes. Anyway, let's move on to our local spotlight.
Our local spotlight, OGC Nice.
OGC Nice. Whether you like, you're going to start learning about OGC Nice. Maybe you become a fan. Who knows? As they call them here, As they call them here, they're called Legime.
We're forcing it down
your throat. All right, so they got a new manager. Tell us about a new manager.
Their 34-year-old manager from a small town, Barga.
Barga in Italy, beautiful town in the Tuscany region of Italy. We've actually been there. Amazing. Francesco Farioli is his name. He's 34 years old, like I said. And he's an Aries. I think that explains it all, right?
It does explain it all.
He had his degree in philosophy and sports science. He was at a Turkish club before this.
Alanya As far as I can pronounce
wow,
it.
that was good.
Winning record. I practiced that all night, as you can see.
Nice. I like that.
And now it's the morning, and I'm shining.
Okay, and let's tell about the transfer. Any interesting transfers going on with the OGC Nice? Which, if you are in France, maybe you don't know about OGC Nice, but if you're in France, you know that OGC Nice is a big club. It really is a big club, and you wouldn't know about how they finish or how if they've won anything necessarily, but they are one of the bigger clubs in France, and so they're an interesting club to talk about. And our guy Kefram Thuram, rumors of him going to every big club.
Every big club. We're hearing rumors that Liverpool did drop out of the race and they're going full in on Romeo Lavia along with Arsenal.
Okay.
But Kefram Thuram is attracting interest from clubs like Bayern, PSG, Newcastle, Man U, Chelsea, Juventus.
Dang, that's a lot of
All
big
the
clubs. I
clubs
hope
out
he
there.
hopes he gets a shot at one of those clubs. It'd be nice to see him stay here at Nice and Nice step up their game and start winning some things and competing at the top. But I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon. That ownership's already under a lot of heat from the Nice faithful. He's not that owner's not winning any friends, Ratcliffe, we'll see what happens with Nice. There's a strong base of Niçois fans that are not very impressed with him at all, and he hasn't come through with the promises that he was making. We have another player from Wolves that's rumored to be coming to OGC.
Now we have two rumors, but we're going to tell you about this one first. Ryan Ait Nouri, the left wing back / left back from Wolves. All I can say, as I don't have much information on him, formerly played for Angers in the Liga. He is very fast, but downside to it, he is very injury prone.
Oh, okay. Cool. And what else?
And Moses Simon from Nantes. He didn't have too shabby of a season for a coming off the bench player. 6 goals and 5 assists. I'd relate him to sort of another Wolves player, Adama Traore. Big build, strong, fast. Not too shabby of a season for him.
Okay.
Came second in the Trophée des Champions.
Trophée des Champions, oh yes, okay. So we'll check it out. We'll keep an eye on that. And the thing that's most fun to talk about, what about Nice's new unis?
Ooh, they're so good.
Those home unis are nice, right? And they're being sponsored by Le Coq Sportif, which is really cool to see that old Le Coq Sportif logo. When I was a kid, I grew up, they had Le Coq Sportif. You could get it, it was like Nike, some of those other tennis brands too, Puma, Adidas, and Le Coq Sportif. You'd see people with Le Coq Sportif stuff, and then at some point it kind of drifted away. But, living here in France, it's definitely big here in France. I don't know what happened to Le Coq Sportif in America, but I remember growing up with that brand name, so seeing that on the jersey is pretty cool too. So, all right, surprise question for you, but you're looking at my notes, so maybe not that surprising. I got more than one today, though.
You do?
Yes. Okay, you ready for the first one?
Jurrien Timber.
Okay, what do you think about the new offside rule that may be introduced by none other than the legend, one of the great ambassadors of the beautiful game, Arsene Wenger?
The man, the myth, the legend has just created a terrible rule for football.
Okay, I agree. And what is that rule? Let's go over that rule. In case you guys don't know, the new offside rule would mean that the player would have to be completely behind the last defender for it to be considered offside.
The full body.
The full body of the player. So then the line would be coming down between the players to see if his last piece of his body was behind the last piece of the defender.
Thinking that out in
Yes, I am. I saw that visual and I'm like, I don't know if I like it. You don't like it either?
No, I don't like it. When we were watching the Babas 14 video, great YouTuber, go watch him. He was saying it would allow a lot more goals. We're not making the football game more appealing to people who don't have time to watch a full match where it builds up. You get to see who plays more beautifully. Yeah,
we're not catering football to wrap it up into a nice little corporate package for Americans that complain about football not having enough goals. That's not what we're doing, and I think that's what this offside rule is about: is to create more goals. As if we're bored. We love the game the way it is, and this isn't being old-fashioned. The game is the game. The drama is the drama. Some of the most exciting, dramatic-filled games you're ever going to see. Footballers, this is a 0-0 draw. And people say, a 0-0 draw, where we come from in America. A 0-0 draw, no goals. How can that be exciting? Well, let me tell you. You got to love the game. You got to see the game. You have to have the patience to watch the game. That's just the way it is. And I think this is catering to a short attention span and people that are watching in a very lazy way. And I just don't think it's good for football.
The real beautiful game isn't gonna be a bunch of corporate commercials with a score of 49-35. It's gonna be 3-1, 2-1, 0-0, 1-1.
Yeah, that's right. Scoring a goal means something. It's hard to do. It's incredibly hard to do. One of the hardest things to do in sports. So when it happens, it's amazing. It's incredible. Football is a game of near misses, great ideas that didn't quite work out, last gasp defensive efforts that create the goal from being scored. That's the beauty of the beautiful game. The beautiful game is oftentimes very unbeautiful. It's gritty. It's almost always filled with failure. Almost scored a goal because it's hard to do. And I think that's what's special about it. And I think this new offside rule, though we're going to go on and we're still going to be fans, if they introduce this new offside rule as a rule, I'm just not going to be that happy about it.
No, me either.
We'll adapt. Maybe we'll end up loving it. Who knows?
I did see that question.
Yeah.
But what is your second question?
Well, the second one is what do you think about the European, UEFA's European League Rankings? What do you think about that, where they got... what is in first place is the English Premier League is considered the most powerful league in Europe.
Still up there.
Still up there. Second place is?
Bundesliga.
Bundesliga? Serie A.
Yeah, no.
Serie A. Serie A
oh,
is
yeah,
second.
yeah, sorry.
Serie A is second place. Serie A
Sorry.
is moved into the second place most powerful league, which makes sense because they had a team that goes to the finals of every European competition. The Conference League. What was the other one? Europa League and Champions League. Every European competition there's a Serie A team, and they didn't win one of them, did they? But it doesn't matter. I mean, they made it, so it says a lot about the league. Third place,
Third place
Bundesliga.
is the Bundesliga.
Wow.
Moving up there.
Moving on up. It's like Curtis Mayfield sings about. There we go. That's good. You sound just like him.
Of course I do.
That's third place Bundesliga. Fourth place is?
La Liga.
La Liga. Okay. La Liga's fourth place, which is surprising. La Liga used to traditionally been in first or second place, right? Because you had the big three, Barcelona, Atletico, and Real. So that was that. And then fifth place is?
The Belgian Pro League.
The Belgian Pro League.
After that
what?
Incredible finish.
Where's France? Where's Ligue 1?
Ligue 1 is all the way down in 7th.
Wait, you mean they're not even next?
No, next is the Eredivisie, the Dutch League.
The Dutch League. Okay, wow. Okay, impressive for the Dutch League.
I blame this all on the Qataris on and PSG. They're making it not fun to watch the Ligue 1 anymore.
Yeah, it's a kind of a foregone conclusion.
They've won it almost every year. The one year they didn't.
How about RC Lens, though? RC Lens with their incredible fan base, their colorful fan base. Unbelievable. We got to go see a game at Lens sometime, don't we?
We do. We got to get down there.
It's supposed to be a legendary atmosphere, RC Lens. Yes, we got to get up there. I love their colorful uniforms, too. Do I sound like a small child? I love their colorful uniforms.
But
they
you
are
know,
great
another guy that we didn't talk about is your beloved Fofana.
Fofana. We saw him play in person, and he was
on his way to Saudi Arabia.
He was bossing the midfield for Lens against Nice. He was everywhere. He's big, he's agile, he's smart, he's selfish, he's selfless. That guy is a player. And he's pushing people around because he's big, he's athletic. That dude is a stud. So anyway, I'm surprised Ligue 1 is in 6th place. I guess I shouldn't be. 7th place. Wow. So step up, Ligue 1. We're looking for you to step up. You guys got to start competing.
Winners.
That's right. Compete with PSG. Come on, Lyon. Step up, Marseille. Come on, OGC, Le Gym. Step up, Lille. Come on, guys. Knock these guys off their throne. Anyway, anything else?
That is it.
That's it.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
See you next time.